Now you sound really loud, Ben.
I'm screaming.
Your husband doesn't DM me back. I don't know what to tell you.
My husband?
Your husband.
Or Ben's
Not
husband.
Ben's husband. Ben's husband never DMs me back. I don't know what's going on. Oh, he doesn't have one. Okay, that explains everything.
And welcome to WayTooBroad, the show and tell program for really, really ridiculously excited grown-ups. Not kids. Not for kids.
But the people who listen to it don't have to be excited.
They should be.
But they don't have to be, like, we are ridiculously excited.
The show and tell program where we show and tell you stuff we're really, really ridiculously excited about.
We are really excited about.
Where are it? I'm Hannah. And these are my co-hosts, Erin and Ben. And that's the most time I'm willing to spend on the intro this week.
But you're supposed to say, hi, Erin. And then I'm supposed to say, hi, Erin. Hi, Hannah. Hi, Ben.
Hi, Erin.
Hi, Hannah. Hi, Ben.
Hi, both you.
It's been a little while since we did a regular style WayTooBroad.
It's just been like
a
week.
No, it's been 2 weeks.
Well, we went 1 week without it.
Oh, no.
Hot week.
Okay.
It's been like a week off.
Yeah.
I have a quick upfront thing that just came up.
Okay.
Ooh, which reminds me, I have another one that didn't just come up. I have a note about it. My one that just came up is I just took my shoes off, revealing my socked feet that had been in my shoes all day, and they're stinky. But there's this thing that happens that my dad also experiences where feet taken out of shoes that have been worn all day smell to me and him like hot buttered popcorn. Does anybody else experience
this? What?
Hot buttered popcorn. We've used the same words to describe it. Like my feet right now smell like hot buttered popcorn.
You're very lucky.
Is that... Yeah, that's kind of like the reverse effect of people who
so good
can't eat like shaky cheese because it smells like vomit to them.
Oh, did you say shaky cheese?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean by that?
Cheese that you shake on. I forget what kind of cheese it is.
Oh, Parmesan?
Yeah, Parmesan. They can't have Parmesan cheese because it smells like puke. Because it's like about contextualization. There's probably a lot of chemicals that are shared between foot stink and hot butter popcorn.
It smells amazing right now in this little tiny room. It smells like I've just popped up a fresh bat of hot butter popcorn. If you're listening and you also are like, oh my god, no one ever gets me on this, it's exactly the phrase I use. Please reach out.
If you also have experienced hot buttered popcorn feet, reach out to Erin.
Or if you've been in the movie theater and you've gotten some popcorn and you're like, this tastes like a sock out shoe after a long day, reach out. That's less relatable for me, but reach out.
Yeah, just reach out.
Please
reach out and touch someone. Please talk about feet.
Please reach out.
Okay. I got another quick upfront thing. Let's just knock it out.
All right.
What?
Okay, go ahead.
All right, another quick upfront thing. Should we do drinks first? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
I'm almost out of this one.
Beginning. What are you drinking, Ben?
Some Lapsang Souchong tea.
You're just making up rhyming words. I could
not,
do that too.
And that's
I'm drinking
racist.
Some Pootang Boobang tea. Is it racist? I'm sorry, I didn't mean that.
I don't think.
No, I don't
think
so.
It is.
Okay.
Lapsang Souchong is delicious, smoky Chinese black tea that I bought in Durham, North Carolina.
Oh,
we've been there.
Hey, me too.
I've never been.
Oh, really?
That's funny.
I'm drinking beer.
What kind of beer are you drinking? Welcome back.
Thank you. I couldn't drink beer for a while. It was so sad. I'm drinking, and Ian saved this one just for me.
Oh, nice.
It's called Fantasity, or Fanta. It's called Fanta City. And it's got Fanta in it. No. It's a dry hopped wheat beer. It's bright, citrusy, herbal, and refreshing. From Two Crows Brewing Company.
Is that just Two Crows brewing beer? Crows are smart.
Looks like it.
Is there like a feather in that beer?
A yellow one and a green one.
Together.
And they sit right next to each other, yeah.
Nice. They sit right inside of each other.
Yeah. I'll post a picture of that on Twogger.
I'm drinking, not that anybody asks, but I'm drinking a cup of full calf coffee. What? Look at me.
Wow.
It's 9:20.
Crazy Friday edition.
Yeah. Oh, fun fact. Oh, and I'm drinking a lemon spindrift.
I love some lemon spindrift.
Yeah, I like the lemon spindrift too, except I bought it at Trader Joe's. It was like $4 for a 4-pack, which means it was $1 each, which was such a splurge. But I'm like, oh, I love this stuff. But then I realized I can just next time buy plain seltzer and a bottle of lemon juice, and it'll be actually the exact same experience. Yeah. So
true. Game that system.
That's right. Fun story about the time tonight that it was like. Well, I thought it was like. I thought it was like 8, and I texted my co-host, and I was like, for our 9 p.m. recording, I was like, listen, I'm watching the GB final, so I'll be there. I'll be there when I'm there. Because it was like,
you had like 2 hours.
It was like a little extra long. And then it was like rounding into the end, and it was like 10 till, and I was like, I'm still watching this fight. I'm still gonna fucking wait. I thought it was like 8:50. It was like 7:50. I had a whole another extra hour, and I genuinely didn't know.
Do you have clocks you forgot to set back? Is that what
happened?
No,
I was fucking looking at my phone. I have no excuse under the sun. Even Molly was like, oh, my socks were inside out all day. Even Molly was like,
oh, my socks.
Oh, my socks.
Even Molly was like, when I got home, she had made dinner, which was so good, and she was like, do we even have time to watch a GB? I was like, let's do it. Let's live on the edge. We had like 2 hours. I don't know what happened. Well, I just put my socks on this morning. I'm like, these might be inside out. And then I was like, I don't think they are. They were.
Oh, my socks.
You know what? One was and one wasn't. I think that's what my confusion
was. That's the ticket.
That's like the ticket.
That's like that could be a new expression. Like if you thought something was fine all day and then it wasn't. Like it could be like, oh, my socks. Like
my socks.
Like earlier today, I was like, oh wait, what am I? We did drinking. Yeah. Okay. Earlier today, I was like, oh my God, guess what, everybody? I got a new car. Guess what? I'm going to pick it up later today. Yay. I was telling everybody. I was so excited. It was like, and then I even arranged for my mom to come pick up Ian so that there could be 3 cars at the dealership when I got there so that we could each drive one home. And then we got there and it was like, oh, my socks. I can't take a car home today.
Oh, no. Why couldn't you take the car home again?
Okay. So let me begin with this, okay? I never answer phone calls that I don't recognize the number for because I'm a fucking millennial and we don't do that.
Yeah,
and
on the second, for you.
Yes, and also even more so in the last few days because I gave my phone number to like a car referral service to try to buy this car. And so every fucking dealership within a 20-mile radius of me has been calling me at least twice a day.
Wow.
Every day since I put my name on that fucking list.
List.
So I am not taking calls from unrecognized numbers right now. But I did buy a car yesterday and I'm very excited about it. But the dealership called me because they wanted me to call my insurance people. They didn't tell me to do that when I was there last night or whatever. It's boring. But like until I do that, they can't get the insurance lined up and then they can't get the registration until they have proof of insurance.
No.
And so I can't get a license plate or a temporary license plate until I do that. And now that the insurance place is closed all weekend because it's Friday night, so I can't even call them until Monday. So here we are.
Fuck.
Yeah. And I got the sniffles. It's not good.
It's not
Hold on a
good.
second.
Didn't you just have a cold? Oh,
It's
you
not good.
just no.
I'm getting over it.
She's leaving.
All
She's
right.
leaving.
It's just me and Erin now. Go to earnbend.com
Yeah, we're doing our
for
own
everything you need.
podcast. And earnbend.com, where it's our own podcast, and Hannah doesn't even know about it.
Yeah, let's talk. This is the Talk Shit About Hannah podcast. Who buys a
Hannah.
car and doesn't get insurance? What a
Hannah.
idiot.
Freaking Brent. I actually called the dealership and asked them to not give it to her. She actually could have gotten it today,
Nice.
but I was like, don't give her that
That's
car.
sick.
Yeah.
Sorry, shut up. She's back.
All right, cool. Yeah, so we pretend like we were talking about something. Your cat.
I
is
can't
so
wait to
cool.
get a new kitten.
Wow.
I edit this program.
What?
Yeah, we know
What are you
that.
talking about? Yeah, we were just
So-
talking nice things about you.
Thanks. So anyway, I don't have my car yet, but I'm sure I'll talk more about it after I have it.
Cool.
Please do.
Looking forward to it. You.
Oh, but yes, while we're talking about it, can I give my big shout out of the
No.
week?
Sure.
Oh, okay.
New
She can?
segment,
All right.
big shout out of the week.
Big shout out of the week.
Big
Do
shout
we
out
get,
of the
like,
week.
is that segment is like one per person, or like we all have to agree? Because this was
Well-
not pre-approved by other cohorts.
Correct.
It can be one per.
Or
If you guys have them, you have them. It can be. There can be more than one.
okay, well, if it's like the big shout out of the week, it sounds like it's like a coordinated effort.
Do you
but that's
guys
fine,
have
go
any
for it.
big shout outs
No.
this week?
No, well, we
Ben?
weren't
No.
given warning to parenting, so I don't know how that's fair to suddenly say, "Oh, well, you didn't have
then
one
I guess
anyway."
this is.
Oh, I see how this goes.
I guess this is the only one then. So I guess it's the big
Wow.
shout out of the week.
I see how this podcast is run. What's your big shout out of the week?
To our dear cousin Andy Deering.
Mm.
I think I can use both of his names because he's a public car figure.
He's a car.
He's a car, and he's our cousin. Okay, no, he's a super great dude. He's our cousin, and when he's been selling cars for like 15 years out in Colorado
Oh
or
my
more.
god!
And
I didn't
when
realize it was that long.
asked him, I know, right? I know. Yeah, that's what he told me.
Wow.
So, I messaged him thinking like it's the end of the month right now, so I know that's a busy time for people at car dealerships, and I wasn't even really sure if he was gonna get back to me because I'm obviously I can't buy a car from him because he's like all the way across the country almost. So not as far as Ben, but I can't buy a car from Ben either. So
Yeah, get on with the rest of the story, though.
And not because Ben is farther across the country. That's not why. It's just 'cause Ben doesn't
sell cars. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And if he did, she probably wouldn't buy one from me
Wow.
anyway. 'Cause she's...
yeah. So I messaged him and I wasn't sure if he would even answer, and he was like, I was just like, do you have any ideas on or any info on like negotiating tactics? And he was like, okay, first of all, it's not a negotiation. It's like, he said it's like a car journey or something like that. He was like, also
nice.
negotiating tactics don't work on most professional car sellers. And then he proceeded to ask me all the information that I had about my like credit and financial situation, the car that I wanted, the options that were essential, what dealership I was working with, who I had talked to, like all of these things. Then he like went and disappeared for a couple hours 2 days before the end of the month to just like help me figure out what a fair price for this car would be.
What a guy.
He's what a guy. And then he, not only that, but I didn't tell you this part, Erin. So he came back and he gave me this like whole book of great information about like how to handle every part of the like whole transaction, which was incredibly helpful. Like I've never walked into a dealership feeling so confident, and I've never walked out feeling so sure that I got a good deal. But also when I was in there, yeah, it was like right at the end of the day. And so everything was moving kind of fast, and it was partly because that's just something that these types of dealerships specialize in. They know how to get people in and out quickly. It's like something that they take pride in. but it's also because it was the end of the day. So people were like also trying to like either close the deal or get us out of the building. So I was like messaging Andy like, hey, do you think, so we're at this point, do you think this is fair? Do you think like what should I do next? Da, 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 da. And he then was like, okay, tell me like this information. I just wrote back and was like, don't worry about it. They're writing up the papers. And he's like, no, you need to tell me. And then he was like, please call me right now and let me talk to you or him.
Wow.
Because he was not going to let me leave without being confident that I was getting a deal that was as good as he knew that I could get.
Wow.
That's so great.
Yeah. So I called him and we talked through everything. Like they had the deal sheet there and I told him everything that was on it. And he like asked a bunch of questions and the guy gave him a bunch of answers and he was like, yes, okay, Andy approved, go ahead. And like that he like did the whole, it was really great.
That's
and
awesome.
It turned out we had reached a fine point, but he was concerned because it had happened so quickly. He really wanted to make sure, and I really appreciate that, because if I had walked out of there without confirming it with him, then I would never have told him, because I would have been afraid that I'd gotten a bad deal.
Yeah, that's great. I love that. Like he just like helped you through the whole process, but then like really insisted in the end that it's like he took complete ownership of it, which is so great.
Yeah. He was
Which
really
is, and
awesome.
not only has he been selling cars for so long, but he's like really fucking good at it. Like
He
he's
is.
like really, really fucking good at it.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Shouts to Andy. What a great guy.
Shout outs to Andy. Shout out of the week. The only one.
You know what? This was not run by me in advance, but I approve this shout out of the week.
Erin, did you have another upfront thing?
I did. Yeah. It
Okay,
was
go
not
ahead.
about my feet. Okay. So it's just, I wrote down a funny thing that Molly said word for word, and I wanted to share it on pod. So Henry does this thing. Henry Brown, our dog, does this thing where he like bites blankets. I don't know what, he hasn't always done it. It's happened within the past couple years, but he'll, his like main activity in life these days is he'll like sit in front of a blanket and like bite it with his like front little comb teeth and just like give it little bites. He won't like tear the blanket up. It just like, he just bites it with intensity. And so he was doing this one night, like he always does every night. And Molly noted that it's so interesting that he'll like be biting on one section and then move the blanket around and start biting on another section. And she said, does one teat run out of blanket milk? And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna write that down. So that's what my wife said to me.
Can I tell you, or can I talk about the video that you sent me of Molly, or should I?
Yeah, sure, totally.
Okay, all right. So I actually don't even think I noticed this, but you guys bought a milk that I told you that we liked, right? The Fairlife. So it's Fairlife milk. And it's like lactose free and like super filtered and stuff, and it's fucking delicious. Like 50% milk tastes like whole milk. It's so good. Like I've never seen a milk brand spread by word of mouth like this one has.
A milk's brand.
Milk's brand. But this one is it's just great and delicious and lactose free, and so Ian really likes it. And so I told Erin that, and when we were visiting last week, they bought that milk to have in the house for us, and I don't know if we used any of it.
Yeah, I think you did.
Okay, cool.
It was open when I went to go use it.
Okay, so but then a couple of days later, after we had left, Erin texted me just like out of the blue, and she was like, wait, actually I can read it.
Out of the blue, like we never text.
but like there was no preamble. Like
That's
we didn't
true.
even talk about.
I did not send her the perfunctory, I'm about to text you about milk.
Everybody should do that.
Incoming milk text.
Real talk. We love this Fairlife milk, and Molly can drink it without a stomach ache. Fun fact, before becoming lactose intolerant, Molly loved milk and would just drink cups of it, which is weird to me. And then she sent me a video with the caption, "Look at how you've enriched her life like vitamin D." And this video, I've watched it like 25 times since then, probably. Erin is standing in front of, well, you can't see Erin, but I assume she was standing in front of Molly in their kitchen. Molly is holding a whole cup of milk, like a mason jar full of milk. And she's just like taking sips, and every time she's sipping the milk, she like winks at the camera
a lot, like winking.
And she's like dancing little like triangles all around their kitchen as she's doing it, like a little happy dance. And then Erin is telling lies to her face about how she's trying to take a picture of her, but then at the end she goes, "How's that milk, Molly?" or something like that. And Molly comes in really close to the camera and she just goes,
"It's like a milk. It's nice."
And she goes, "It's nice."
It's nice.
It's nice.
It did make me feel like I had enriched her life like vitamin D.
Yeah, you really did. I mean, she was drinking a pint of milk, which she hasn't done. She used to, in college, she used to have this reputation where, like, you know, those, like, college kids would, like, foolishly buy a gallon of milk, and then it would be at or a few days beyond its expiration date. And she would be the person to call because she would come and like finish the milk.
Oh my god!
She'd be like walking around with a gallon of milk, like drinking out of it. Like she used to drink a lot of milk.
Wow,
It's just like no joke.
Oh, I never liked milk like that. You know, whenever Kylie has waffles or pancakes, she has to have milk with it, which I thought was interesting because I don't relate to that. And then like one time we were like gonna make pancakes and she's like, "Oh, we don't have milk, never mind." I was like, "Oh, okay."
I feel that way about cookies. Like I will not eat a cookie without milk.
I don't.
Unless I have coffee. Coffee is a fair
I like
trade.
cookies with milk, but I will not. I will eat cookies without milk.
I
every
won't
day of
even-
the week.
I don't even care for
What did you just say?
I don't even care for cookies with milk.
Oh my god. What did you say?
Cockies.
But you didn't say the S. Oh man.
I have 1, 2, 3
Thought.
other things.
1, 2, 3 other
One
things.
other thing, two other thing, three other thing.
Sound quality last week. I sorry. I didn't even go back and remaster it. It was quiet. You know, it's just what happens at Thanksgiving.
I sorry, not sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
If you don't like it, make your own podcast.
God, I just hit the microphone for the 3rd time this recording.
If you don't-
Doing great.
If they don't like it, they can make their own podcast, Ben.
Also,
God.
exactly.
Damn right.
Also, very sorry to, well, not sorry. Thank you to the guys at But Yeah for having us in their super special Unpause series. So it turned out to be a 3-part series because it ended up so long, which I guess is what happens when you collaborate with 5 other podcasts at once. But
Yeah.
But
we
the
can't even
second-
keep our own podcast under an hour.
I
Give me
know,
a break.
exactly. So the episode, it's up to the 2nd part out now. So they've journeyed to the center of the pause. They are fighting a battle against some kind of spaghetti, and then the 3rd part they will be journeying out of the pause, and we will also appear in that episode.
Oh, and the 3rd one.
Yes, but we did appear in the 1st one as well.
Oh, cool.
I have to apologize because the sound quality on that one was the same as it was in our little mini episode, which is to say kind of echoey and a little bit quiet, but it sounded great. Eamon's
We
a
were
great editor.
speaking quietly in an echoey room. What do you expect?
Yeah, so we yeah, it's good. You guys should go listen to it. It's episode 50 of But Yeah. Start with part 1. What else? Okay, also Diamond Dots are cool. I'm not gonna have them be
What else? All right, Diamond Dots are cool. Okay, what else?
Diamond Dots are cool. Check that off the
What
list.
else? I
Next
like
topic.
flowers. Okay, what else? Hot butter popcorn. What else?
Feet. Oh, nope, those are the same.
Hannah, where are you? Hannah, you're muted. Hannah, we can't hear
Yeah,
you.
Hannah, we cannot hear you.
Hannah, no, we simply
Nope, we can't.
cannot hear you. Hi, welcome back, Hannah.
Thanks. You guys made me laugh so hard that I slapped my knee and I pulled the cord out of my microphone and it stopped recording.
That's not good podcast etiquette.
No.
I am sorry for making you laugh so hard that you literally slapped your knee.
No knee slappers. Come on.
It's just not good podcast.
That's rule number 1 of podcasting.
No knee slappers.
No knee slappers.
I can't tell if that's relating to the joke or the person slapping the knee. It's hard to say. It's hard to say.
Both.
Yeah, both.
Okay, so the thing I was laughing at was Diamond Dots are good. And then you guys thought I shouldn't have said that.
Well, it's just, it came out of nowhere.
Yeah, Diamond Dots are good. Do I need to talk about Diamond Dots? Oh, and you should talk about Diamond Dots because I also have a new nickname for you.
Oh, great. Oh, yes, that's right. You do. Okay. So over Thanksgiving, before Thanksgiving week, I had picked up a new little hobby. I bought these things called Diamond Dots at the Michaels store, and I got one that was a black cat, and I made it to give to Ben and Kylie.
It's Como.
It's Como. Do you have it, Ben?
Yeah.
Are you gonna frame it?
I mean, yeah, I have so many things to frame, though.
Okay.
So we'll see how long it takes for me to get around to it. I haven't framed my college degree yet.
Can you do me a favor?
Yes.
Can you send me the dimensions of it?
Sure.
And maybe your diploma too? I don't know.
It's
How much
obviously, but what you're going to say, you haven't even framed your diploma, and the Diamond Dots of Como is obviously moved in the list above
Yeah.
the
Oh,
diploma.
yeah, it's top priority.
Obviously. No, I haven't even
Como.
framed my diploma. But I wasn't the valedictorian. Okay. I just am so much louder now, and I don't... Why are you...
You're fine. You're good.
It's because you're shouting.
Where's the knob for my mouth volume? All right. So what it is that it's hard to explain without.
What it is that it's hard to explain.
They're called Diamond Dots, and what you get is a little of like a piece of like fabric, like polyester fabric, sort of canvas material. I don't know if it's polyester with
Polyester fabric, sort of canvas material.
different material.
It's like canvas, paper, plastic, canvas,
Metal, meteorite material.
So you get this material, nobody knows what it is, and it's got it comes pre-treated over all the spots you're supposed to put dots on with this adhesive. And you also get a bunch of dots in like a million different colors. Like my current one has like 31 or 32 colors of dots, and they're these tiny little faceted little dots, like about the size of like a
pimple.
Like
Good,
a pimple.
Juicy pimple.
Yeah, a big whitehead. They're about the size of a big, juicy whitehead pimple. And a face pimple, not a butt pimple.
Oh.
Those are bigger. So...
I've heard.
I'm told, yeah. So...
It's worse than
Which is worse?
I'm told implies somebody was telling you about your butt pimples.
Well, they could have been telling me about theirs.
Is that better either?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking.
None of it's good. We didn't even have to bring it up.
So,
anyway, you know
I
how
just want
big
people
they
to get an accurate visual. Someone
Yeah.
out there, Anyway.
Yeah, you're right.
They're about the size of a juicy face pimple, and they're faceted and they're really sparkly. And what you do is you get this little pen that comes with it. It's like shaped like a pen, but the end is hollow, and it's got like a little metal tube, and you dip that in wax, and then you use the wax to pick up the little dots, and then you press them into the adhesive, and there's like a legend on it, like a paint by numbers style legend of like what colors you're supposed to put where. And in the end, what you come out with is something that looks like somewhere between like needlepoint and paint by numbers, and
sparkly.
It's very sparkly, very, very sparkly, and I love it. I just think they're really cool, and they make all kinds of different designs. So some of them are really tacky, but some of them are really neat. Like I'm working on a painting right now, a famous one from someone I can't remember who. Van Gogh.
It's Van Gogh.
In Van Gogh. So I went straight from this little black cat to this giant Van Gogh painting that's like 3 times as big. And I was working on it all throughout Thanksgiving. And I was really determined to get this like one section done. So I was sitting like talking to people, but the whole time I was just like dip, push, dip, push, dip, push, just the whole time. And people were really fascinated with it. But then also everybody just wanted to try to do it once and then was like, okay, I'm good, and walked away.
It's fun.
It's fun.
That's exactly what I did.
I know.
Yeah, I did it once, but I didn't want to, impede. Maybe I did it twice. Maybe I did it 3 times a lady. I'm not sure. But we were calling it Dippin' Dots, and then we're calling Hannah our little dipper. Come over here, little dipper. That was nice.
Little dipper's dipping again.
Yeah, she's dipping. Look at little dipper dip.
I was like bringing it back and forth because we were staying at Erin's house. We were like having a lot of our family time at Erin's parents' house, and I was like our aunt and uncle, and I was like carrying a bag full of all the stuff to do my little dipping back and forth to 2 different houses.
She's dipping back and forth.
I didn't want to lose a minute of good dipping time.
And nor should you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I've done
you didn't, and I don't believe you should have.
Thanks. I've got it like maybe like a third of the way done now.
Oh, cool. I'm looking forward to a completed picture.
Yeah.
Once you've dipped to completion, I'm excited to see it.
So that's what that is. They're fun.
I love Ben just snort. Like a single snort.
That's all you get for that.
It will suffice. Oh, Ben, do you want to talk about your new skill that you learned today?
Yeah, your new attribute.
Oh, yeah. I had a small operation, and my doctor informed me that I'm a light bleeder. And I'm very proud of that.
So Kylie suggested that Ben should put that on his resume.
I don't bleed
PhD
much.
in engineering. Light bleeder. Sorry, electrical engineering.
Whatever.
I wasn't offended.
All fake. It's all fake.
It's all in the blanket.
Well, it's not as important as the light bleeder part.
You should put
Right.
that first.
Yeah.
Because it's real. So.
Moving on.
Wow.
So.
Wow.
I'm trying to plant these little seeds. I did one in a previous episode. I'm trying to plant these little seeds where there's like a meta-narrative forming that I don't believe in science.
That is too soon. It's like too real.
I've sort of formed a meta-narrative in this episode where I don't understand what shouting is. That was by accident.
Am I shouting again?
What?
Who's shouting?
No, did you hear what I said?
No.
Okay, that's very clear from what you just asked.
What did you say?
I said
Hannah,
I've sort of started a meta-narrative in this episode where I don't understand what shouting is.
What? But who's shouting?
What
Hannah's
the fuck?
Hannah's forming a meta-narrative about she doesn't know how to hear anything. All right, who's dipping in?
Me.
Dip on in, little dipper.
Thanks. I want to talk about a newfound old favorite.
Wow. Okay.
All right.
She's an old friend of mine.
Wow. I just don't know what our future holds.
Her name is Xena, Warrior Princess.
Oh, man. There was a hot second where I thought you were gonna like talk about your vagina. I don't know. I feel like this could have gone anywhere. She's an old friend of mine.
My little friend.
Her name is
Little buddy.
Tony. I don't know. Okay.
Oh no. No, Xena
You
is
cut that out.
Xena is a show.
Warrior Princess
is a show. And Ian and I have been rewatching it. We're on like episode 7 or so of the first season. There's 6 seasons total. Have either of you guys watched Xena before?
No, ma'am.
And
Really?
I feel like as a lesbian, that's just like some not okay. I don't know.
Yeah, it's really interesting to watch through. Like, okay, so my history with Xena is that Mom used to watch it, and I used to watch it with her sometimes. I remember watching it with her, and I remember having some vague sense that it was like interesting and a little bit subversive that Xena was this like really powerful woman, and she traveled exclusively with another woman. And they were best friends, gal pals. But but also she has a lot of romances with men, and so I think that I just kind of like didn't pick up on a lot of the subtext and just kind of like it just wasn't like as prominent in my mind as like a theme to look out for as it is now, sort of. Now it's like, God, I wish that they had leaned into it more and sooner, because from what I'm hearing in the later seasons, she definitely does have like experiences with women, but I feel like she should have just started out that way, and like that's not till later seasons, because it's like the parallels and the subtext is so clear right from episode 1. So, a couple interesting things right off the bat about Xena. First of all, I want to start out this whole section with a big shout out to another podcast called Xena Warrior Podcast, which is the way that I heard about this. So speaking of super gay Xena related things, they are now like, they're all the way in like season 6 already with this podcast. They've been going through since like 2016. They've been going through in like 2 episode chunks, and it's these 3 film major women who have been watching 2 episodes at a time. One of them watched Xena in the past, and the other 2 watched it for the first time for this podcast. So they're like way ahead of me. So I don't know what the context was of this, but they were posting all these GIFs that somebody that I follow was retweeting of Gabrielle and Xena seemingly, well, maybe I shouldn't say exactly, but it was basically her and her sidekick in like very sexy situations. And so it caught my eye, and they posted more than one. And and so I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, Xena was a thing. And then I went and read the description for their podcast, and they were talking about how, and I totally agree with this, Xena was a show that came out around the same time as shows like Buffy and the X-Files. And their whole position is sort of like, there's no good reason why it shouldn't be viewed as like part of that same type of show and admired as that same type of show that like brought in this whole new sort of type of female lead, and that it like was really, really good and written very well, if a little bit uneven, as all of those shows were. And, really it was like a total classic. Like they're like, why are more people not talking about Xena? And I was like, shit, yeah, like I'm going to watch it. I bet they're right. So so we started watching it, and they're totally right. First of all, did you know that Xena started out as a villain on Hercules, the TV show?
I think I did know that.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So, sorry.
Great time for a sip of your drink.
I need.
Yeah, I'm gonna start a sentence. Hold on. Well, anyway.
So, she started out as like a multi-episode villain. Another interesting thing I learned from the podcast is that Lucy Lawless was actually not supposed to play Xena. At first, there were either two or three other actresses who were American who got the part first, but it was filming in New Zealand, and for one reason or another, they weren't able to make it. So they ended up going with a local actress instead. And she's so amazing. Like, to imagine not having Lucy Lawless, like, in the, like, greater cultural atmosphere at this point. Like, she, like, Parks and Rec, she was so awesome. So she started out as a villain. She commanded an army. Apparently, the first time that you see Xena in the first episode of Hercules that she's in, she's dressed as, like, a damsel, and she's riding in a cart, seemingly alone. And then she gets ambushed by all these, like, rough, tough-looking dudes, and she beats the shit out of all of them. And then it turns out that not only did she just beat the shit out of them, but also she's their leader, and she's trying to train them on how to kill Hercules or whatever she's trying to do.
Oh, wow.
So she's, like, not only flipping the script on the whole damsel thing, but she's also, like, in charge of those assholes. So eventually, I think in the scope of her time on Hercules, which maybe is like 3 episodes, she kind of like turns towards the side of good, and then as her own show starts, she's beginning this process of like reckoning with her past as sort of a super strong and effective, like, legendary sort of like evil warlord type almost. and now then, like, she's even like everywhere she goes, people know like her name, like they know who she is and her history. Even in her hometown, even with her own mother, like nobody trusts her at all because she's like been so sort of evil in her past. And that's something that I think is really interesting and comes up again and again through the course of at least the season that I've watched so far, is like she's got this interesting relationship with her past where it's like she's wrestling with the fact that she doesn't want to be that person anymore, but there's so little that she can be or do that's good for the people around her in the world if she doesn't like also embrace that part of her that is like this vicious fighter as well. And there's all this push and pull. Like a lot of the people she meets from her that she has history with are people that she's now no longer on the same side as. Sometimes she has to like play that and stuff. It's really interesting.
Wow. So she's like chaotic good.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, she is. But it's like she was neutral before. Right. And she decided that she wanted to be good. She's really big. She's like extremely tall. And it's especially highlighted by the fact that the actress they chose to play her sidekick is like way short. So she just looks like this like total tall Amazon woman all the time. I mean, you guys have seen Lucy Lawless. Like, you can tell just like in her bone structure, she's got like real broad shoulders. Like, she does not look like she's doing wave fu when she's like fucking these guys up. Like, she looks like built for what she's doing.
Do you mean her sidekick / gal pal?
Yeah. And the first episode is when she meets her gal pal, and her gal pal like sees her fighting one group of like baddies and is just like immediately like, please take me with you. And the things that she says, it's like, first of all, she has a man that she's engaged to, and she's like, basically he tries to get her to leave, and she's like, you don't control me just because we're betrothed. I want to stay here and talk to Xena. And then as soon as he leaves, she's like, look at this. This is what my life is if I stay here. And she goes, oh, he seems like a gentle man. And she's like, well, it's not the gentle part I'm worried about, or something like that. Like, she's so gay. Like, she's so clearly gay.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. But it's like, it's really good. And Lucy Lawless plays really well. She's got an amazing, war cry. It's very like, it's really fun to watch. I don't usually care for sort of war action sequences and fights and war cries, but it's like, it's just really cool. I don't know. It's like, it's very campy. Also, it's got a total sense of humor about itself. Like, it's very funny. And not every episode is like, it makes like the most sense, you know, but as a whole, it's like, it's just really interesting. And I would definitely recommend also, if you're going to watch it, listening to this podcast, because as I said, they all have like degrees in like film analysis and stuff. And the stuff that they pick up on is really, really interesting. And I wish every time I hear another thing that I'm like, oh, that's so cool, I think I want to bring it up during this very segment right now on this podcast, but I can't remember a single one right now.
I have a cue for you while you're thinking about it.
I won't remember.
Well, you were just saying like there's obvious like lesbian subtext, and you feel like and it might be like fleshed out later, pun intended, in the seasons, but like you feel like they should have just like gone for it. As like but you are speaking as a bisexual person. Do you feel like it's less of a bisexual thing and more of a closeted gay thing? Because I feel like, you know, you wouldn't have said that if you felt like it was like, oh, maybe she's bisexual, but maybe she's like just closeted.
You know, I've been trying to watch it as maybe she's like a lesbian who's using the fact that she knows that she has this sex appeal to, you know, as another form of wielding power over the people around her.
Oh, I see.
And in some ways it works like that, but there's definitely men that she's come across who she has like a real love and affection for. What it strikes me as, like, if you wanted to give me if you wanted me to give a label to Xena's sexuality right now, I'd say I think that she's bisexual, probably. Okay. But like, I would like to see a version of the show where she's just a lesbian with all of the exact same traits, basically, and maybe just like a little bit less of a revealing costume. Although that, like, what I love about this about Xena too, honestly, and maybe it's like something that wasn't really made for me to appreciate, I guess, but like when her costume is such that you guys have seen it probably, right? She's got like a kind of like a skirt thing, and it's got like a bunch of leather straps, and then underneath that it's just kind of like whatever cheerleaders have under. It's just like Spanx. Like Spanx under there. And she doesn't give a shit, and I'm not just talking about when she's fighting. Like, she'll totally like do any move that she needs to get the upper hand, and she does not care like what is like. She doesn't give a shit about like what's the word, decorum, as far as like anything with her outfit goes. You don't like see nipples or like labia or anything. You just like
I knew this was about vaginas. I knew it.
It's just like clear that it doesn't matter to her, and I kind of think that's cool. She's got like an incredible amount of body confidence. And then also it's not just when she's fighting, it's like when she's just like in bars, she will like man spread when she does like awesome sitting everywhere. They have like a special like segment about awesome
sitting.
There's this
good work, Ty. Awesome sitting. Light bleeder. Also a light bleeder.
It's true. Well, because like in that time, it was not cool to like show spurting blood everywhere. So she is a light bleeder. One time she got shot with an arrow, and when they pulled it out, it was just like it already had a scab on it. It was like,
you and Xena, Ben.
Wow.
Big bone structure, light bleeders.
Sitting in a tree, am I right?
So I just highly recommend. Oh, I was going to tell you, there was this one scene where they were in a bar, and the guys
did some awesome sitting.
They were in a bar.
First, she beat up like every guy that tried to. She like just like easily, without even missing a beat, like just beat up every dude who tried to hit on either of them. And then when they got to their table, she sat with like one leg up on the table and one, I don't even know where. But then someone came over and said,
I don't even know where this leg was, you guys. You can't even begin to imagine where this leg was.
But anywhere.
I simply don't know. So then this guy came up from behind her, right behind her back, and was like, "Hey, nice legs," like a real creep. And she took this leg from out of I don't even know where and just flipped it completely above her head and kicked him in the face. It was great.
Awesome. She doesn't know why she gets so protective and angry when men try to hit on her gal pal. She just gets this feeling. Where is this coming from? I don't know why I feel so aggressive when people try to hit on you. She's like, angry. Just trying to enjoy a beer alone in a bar with my gal pal.
Yeah, it's just. I
think I know where her leg was on second thought.
It's just a lot more, despite all of this talk we've just had, it's a lot more nuanced of a show than I remember. And it's a lot funnier of a show than I remember. And I think it deserves a second look across the board from everybody. I guess there was supposed to be a reboot. Like in 2016 it was announced, but then it was killed in 2017, and that's very sad to me.
I know.
Yeah.
I will point out this actress I like did the stunts for Xena Warrior Princess, Zoe Bell. Do y'all know her?
No.
Nope.
That's
she
cool.
She was in a few Tarantino movies that I liked. And she was also the stunt double for Uma Thurman in the Kill Bill movies. And then she's in a New Zealand stunt double and actress. Oh, and there's a great documentary about her. You would probably really enjoy that after, because it has some Xena stuff in it.
Awesome.
Let me look up this. I was on IMDb on her page. What's it called? Where is it?
So she was like a stunt woman turned actress, or did she just always do both?
I think she was a stunt woman turned actress.
Oh, as an established and extremely talented stunt double and actress, Zoe Bell has made a name for herself throughout her unparalleled I just can't read right now. Yeah, she's from New Zealand. Oh, and it's funny because, like, you know, Lucy Lawless has a pretty good American accent most of the time. Sometimes she has especially a lot of trouble with the word Gabrielle, which is a shame because that's her gal pal's name. It's like
what did she say?
Gabrielle.
Gabrielle. I feel like it's on
Gabrielle. And then also
it's called Double Dare.
What's called Double Dare?
Double Dare. Oh, you know, it has more Wonder Woman stuff. But Double Dare is the documentary that Zoe Bell was in.
Okay, I'll check it out.
I forgot that had more Wonder Woman stuff than Xena stuff, but it has some Xena stuff. But anyway, that's fun. If you're like, you know, scraping the bottom of the barrel on the Xena content, that's a little bit
awesome.
Double Dare. That was a bad accent.
All right, so that's it.
Hey, nice! Wow.
Yeah, thanks. Erin,
that's good. Where are you watching it?
Hulu.
Hulu.
Yeah.
Hulu.
I'm back on the Hulu train.
Do you use your own login, or do you use mom and dad's like me?
I don't remember.
Hulu. I really wanna know Hulu.
I loved that show. I mean, I know that's the Who
CSI?
song, but it makes me think of CSI, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me too.
Fucking Sam used to watch it when it came out every week and be so sad when it was over. Wasn't that funny?
I got scared from that show.
Oh, yeah.
As a kid.
Do you know what show used to, like, freak me the fuck out? Unsolved Mysteries? Did you guys ever watch that show?
Yeah.
No, I couldn't.
Fuck!
It's like,
yeah.
It's like reading I'll Be Gone in the Dark.
Before he was caught.
And then your Roomba
Before he was caught.
wakes you up.
That's gonna be like such a like hipster thing. Like, well, I read I'll Be Gone in the Dark before he was caught. You know?
Did you guys see there's a new book out that Paul Holes and all those other guys wrote?
You kind of mentioned it.
Not on pod, Erin.
No, I didn't even see that you mentioned it elsewhere.
What a dick.
I think you might have mentioned it to our face.
I think I did.
Oh, you
Erin,
did? I forgot.
would you like
Hello.
to go now?
Am I to go?
Yeah, you to go.
Yo, I don't know. I'm dipping in. I don't know. What?
Yeah, we all know. We all knew you were dipping in.
I'm dipping in. I don't really have one. You know, we've been watching GBB Bell. Just finished the new season tonight.
Did you love it?
Yes, I didn't know who won the whole time, though. I did.
Oh, you did? Yeah, that's what I thought.
Because I had seen Paul Hollywood's post, and I promptly unfollowed him.
Why follow him? He's the worst part of the show.
I fucking can't with the handshakes, you guys. I fucking can't. It makes me so angry that
Tell me about that.
That his ego is so massive that he thinks just touching his hand is such an amazing reward for a great bake.
You're not fucking Jesus Hollywood.
Even and like Mary Berry. I'm sorry.
Even in the first or the second episode, whenever he gave like his first handshake in a showstopper, and then we started the new season, by the way.
I was about to say.
And then gave his like the neck and give another one during the showstopper. Like while they were talking about like who was gonna win and whatever, he was like, and I gave 2 handshakes today. Like, He even like talked about it himself. I just like, ugh, I hate
enough.
it.
I
hate
enough.
it so much.
Like he's outweighed by all of the other stuff on the show, but if like it was just Polly Hollywood as well.
Did you see
Polly Hollywood?
I saw something on Twitter that said Paul Hollywood is short for Pollywood Hollywood.
That's good. Hollywood.
No, I didn't see that. Anyway, we could just talk about Give Bebo as far as Ben's watched it if you want.
Yeah. Wait, Ben hasn't finished it though.
I've only seen up to the first two. I've only seen the first two.
We could talk about it though.
I loved it. So we've been watching that. I really my TLDRs. I don't really have one because it's all been the same old. I have a kind of a small one though.
Oh,
a
okay.
small sesh.
Okay.
Just a small one. It's
Not
mostly
even an
been
obsesh. Just a sesh.
Just a sesh.
Okay.
Which has been like Molly and I've been doing this fun Christmas light project that y'all know about.
Oh my
Ben
God.
kind of helped with.
Yeah.
And that's kind of been on my mind. So
Pretty sick.
We'll have to post a picture. This is all orchestrated by Molly, so I don't even like do that much with it. But she like got these like crazy like structures that you put Christmas lights on. You put like 3 strands of Christmas lights on.
They're spheres.
And then and they're spheres, and then you hang them high up in the trees.
You hang them high.
High in the tree. In the tree, and you plug them in, and it's Christmas. But anyway, they're like rainbow. They're like we have each color of the rainbow.
Yeah.
And they're hung up in the trees, and we're working on hanging the rest, and it's just really nice and Christmas. And then we have Christmas lights, and then we're gonna plan our Christmas shopping day. So I guess this early in the beginning of December, my obsession is Christmas.
It's only like 3 weeks till Christmas. Like
Yeah,
4
that's
weeks.
true.
3-4 weeks.
So Christmas. What did you say? That Christmas.
I don't know. When did I say that?
Last year, I guess.
Crimbus.
Also, I think Molly and I are going to try to do Wasamanu, but for Christmas, which I think is going to be a lot nicer.
Wakamanu? Wakamanu?
Wakamanuk. Wakamanuk.
That's nice. That would be watch a Christmas movie every night until Christmas.
Right.
Just
Wakamanuk.
in case people are wondering.
Yeah. Okay, that's all. We can talk about GBB, but that's all for me.
I have a thing I'm obsessed with coming up for Christmas. I can hop in on yours, give it a little bit more content.
Tip in.
You know this already, Erin and Ben, but I and Ian and our parents and our brother Lucas are all going to be out in California for New Year's.
Cool.
Hell yeah.
Oh
Hell
yeah.
yeah. Are they all staying with Ben?
We are.
Hell no.
Are they all staying with Ben? Who's staying with Ben?
Me.
Hannah and Ian and Lucas, probably.
Oh, nice. Cool.
Mom and Dad are getting a hotel
Nice.
because I claimed it.
You claim
We gonna
staying
have
with
to
them.
figure out where to put the bed, but we'll figure it out.
What do you have?
We
A
have an
bed?
air mattress.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay. Oh yeah, and it has a headboard. You said.
It does. It's very nice.
Wow, that is fancy.
And
Yeah.
it blows itself up. It's got the vacuum like built into it.
And I
It
think we're going to
blows
be
up?
there. It glows up. It glows
It's got a
itself
bomb.
up.
It's a bomb. It's just a bomb. Did I say mattress? I meant bomb.
Yeah, well, maybe your parents should sleep on it. 'Cause I like Hannah a little more than that.
Wow.
Just a little bit.
We're gonna be out there a couple days earlier than Mom and Dad. I think we're gonna be out there on the 28th, and Mom and Dad aren't flying out till the 31st, which sounds terrible to me. I was like, I don't
Yeah.
want to fly on
Yeah.
New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
I'm getting my stitches out the 28th.
Wow.
Great.
And you're not going to bleed very much.
No, hopefully not at all at that point.
Yeah.
Fucking light bleeder.
So that's cool, and then we're gonna fly back not until the 6th, so we'll be out there for like 10 days or something.
Wow, that's so fun.
Yeah.
That's great.
We gonna play board games.
Oh, we're gonna play so
Shit.
many games. I'm so excited.
We're also gonna have all of our D&D party here except Erin.
Yeah, well, should we do one? Oh man, that's sad.
Yeah, it
Ooh,
could be
let's- yeah,
fun.
let's do
Maybe
it.
I'll come to California. You don't know. You don't
You
know my
could.
life.
You should.
You
You
don't
know
fucking
the
I
dates
couldn't.
now.
I couldn't house you, but you're
You could sit
welcome.
in Mom and Dad's room.
You don't fucking know my life.
Yeah, we're
We're playing
this
D&D
weekend.
soon. That's another thing I've been working on. So it's like, I've been working on my character and all that shit, so.
I
Yeah,
wrote
Ian's been
a
getting
pretty-
backstories.
interesting backstory for my character last night that I think is a little cheesy, but also I like it a lot.
Nice.
I'm excited.
and it added a lot of depth to Chico.
By the time this comes out, we'll be playing. We'll probably be in the middle of our game.
Yeah, that's right, because we're playing
Fuck.
on Sunday. Okay, listen. That's enough of this now. Ben, would you like to dip in?
Yes. I have a quick one also because my head kind of hurts and I want to feel like it's sore and I want to projects to get back to work on. So I'm going to do this quick boy.
Quick and easy.
It's
Easy breezy.
It's tea. It's just tea.
Tea.
Because listen, we have so many fucking drawers in our kitchen that we do not use because we just don't have things to put in them. And when I went to Erin and Molly's house for Thanksgiving and they have this whole big drawer full of teas, I was like, I want that. And so I'm starting a tea drawer.
Oh, that's beautiful.
My mom sent me this website called Arbor Teas, which has like a bunch of like organic loose leaf tea that you can buy. Either you can buy like samples for like $2 to $5, which is like 8 servings of tea, or you can buy loose leaf tea like in bulk, basically, which is pretty sick. So Kylie and I are gonna like decide on a bunch of teas we want to sample and start like building up our collection. I also when I ordered an electric kettle while I was at Erin's house, and then I got it, and it was just a regular kettle, not an electric kettle. Could have sworn that it was an electric kettle on the website, but I went back, and it was indeed just an electric kettle. But I could have, but like when it was annoying because when you search electric kettle, it's like the top result,
Huh.
But
and
it's not electric.
and then you click, and like the thumbnail is the electric kettle, like the same one that your mom has, Erin, at their house, the one you can like control the temperature of, which
What
I really
brand
wanted.
is that?
And then it's Bonavita. And then
Thank you.
and the link is like Seattle Coffee Gear, and you go to their website and it's a different thumbnail for just a regular kettle, but I swear I could have sworn on my life that when I opened it on their website it was the same picture and it was the same thing. But it's definitely not what I got either way. And it's so I'm going to return that and then maybe just make an open call to all the family members that listen to this podcast that I want an electric kettle for Christmas. I also need more mugs. I don't have that many mugs.
Oh my god.
Wow.
And I need
You
more
can
mugs.
take
So
some of
Basically,
mine.
you need your whole tea situation.
yeah, pretty much. So
I'm making a tea drawer, but I need tea, a kettle, and mugs. So, like, what do you have? Simply a mouth to drink it with. And water. You've got water in your mouth.
Kylie and I are also like, I brought it up to Kylie and she was really excited about like the idea of building up a nice big tea collection also because she also likes tea, and we're gonna try and like make a concerted effort whenever we go places to like get some kind of fun mug to bring home to build up a mug collection also.
Fun.
Yeah,
You'll have way too many before you know it, and you'll be
I was
lamenting.
about to say the literal
we
word.
have so much space in our cabinets that we don't use. It's fine. We can just fill
You're
it.
gonna go over for New Year's. You're gonna be like, oh, cool, I'm just gonna grab a plate, and you're gonna open a drawer, and it's gonna be all mugs. You're gonna be like, oh, probably the next one, and it's like, cabinet, all mugs,
All mugs.
cabinet, all mugs, pantry, all mugs. You're like, oh, where's my bed? Actually, it's just mugs. I'm sleeping on mugs. We have too many mugs.
Mugs all the way
multiply.
down.
Mugs. You'll like get to the airport on your way home, and your bags or clothes are gone. It's just mugs. Like Ben's removed all your clothes. He's trying to get his mugs out of the house. They're like, you can't carry on this many mugs. Why would you need to? And you're like, I didn't mean to. So anyway, that'll be before you know it, Ben.
That was a great
Can't
word picture.
wait.
Thank you.
That's it. Just tea.
Oh, I have a few follow-up cues about you and Kylie. A, do you have complimenting tea preferences? 2, do you does Kylie like coffee?
No to both.
Oh, you don't have complimenting tea.
Somewhat, but a lot of teas that I like, she won't like. She likes more like flavored and minty. Well, she likes peppermint tea and also like just more like flavored and spiced teas than I do.
And you like unflavored teas?
Well, I like
you like water? Not water.
No, that's not. Tea isn't like. I mean, like flavored with like fruit and spices.
I know.
Yeah, I like hot water. I like boiling water.
Do you guys, can you do like his and her, like tea drawers?
Cute.
We have the drawers for it, to be honest. We could.
Cute. Yeah. You should do it.
And you could have his and hers mug warehouses.
You should get mug warehouses. You could get that stick-on wallpaper that you can get at Target and like stick a more masculine wallpaper on yours. Or, more feminine, whatever you guys are into.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll make mine blue and hers pink.
Hers pink.
That's so masculine. Wow.
You can both have your own special patterns. They don't have to connect to your gender identities in any way.
You just can be masculine, Ben, so you don't feel threatened by your tea drawer. So that your masculinity isn't at risk.
I'm sorry. I'm just sorry.
I have nothing to say except I'm sorry.
That's good.
All right. Cool. Well, great then. You do that, Ben.
Good one, Ben.
Never met anybody before who says they don't have enough mugs. That's insane.
Yeah. Well, he did just move across the country.
Yeah, we had more and we got rid of some. That's a true fact.
That's the truth.
Do you have at least 2?
Yes.
Okay, so you're doing okay.
Just do your fucking
fine.
dishes.
You can get by.
We're getting by.
Cool. So then let's do homework.
Great.
Okay. My homework for the listener is go on Hulu and watch Xena Warrior Princess. It's all on there. And also listen to Xena Warrior Podcast along while you're watching it. It's a super fun, enlightening experience. They're really smart and cool, and I like it a lot. Just like respect the... Oh, fuck.
Respect the unrespected.
I forgot to tell you what... My real true feeling about what happened with Xena and her sexuality in at least the first season of the show is that the writers were nervous about the idea of having a lesbian main character, and I think that Lucy Lawless plays a very convincing bisexual character. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, obviously, but but I think that the fact that the first episode where she met Gabriel, they were extremely they bonded a bunch and it was semi-romantic, and then the very next episode was a very romantic episode with a new male character, and Gabriel had a side quest the whole time. It's a little much. It's a little they're pulling back because they don't want to be too unrelatable or whatever.
We're not gay.
Yeah, right. Not in a guy. No homo.
See, we could be apart. She's on a whole side quest. And look, I have a man.
Right, exactly. That's my feelings about it, basically.
I mean, I don't know when Xena came out, but probably rightly so, because Ellen DeGeneres lost her career for a long time. Maybe even a decade or more. So.
Maybe I'll look that up real quick. I think it was around...
We need some historical context.
Xena Warrior Princess was Wikipedia 95.
Was Wikipedia.
Started in 95.
That's when I started. Is that what people say?
Started when Ben started.
Let's see, and the puppy episode was...
It started 4 days before you were born.
Holy shit.
Wow.
And ended in 2001.
The puppy episode, which was Ellen DeGeneres' coming out episode, aired in 1997. So
there you go. So
and it was very controversial at the time.
So maybe it's season 3
That's
when
wild
things
that
get
it was
gayer.
controversial at the time.
Huh?
That's wild that was controversial.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the show got canceled after that, and all that.
That's some bullshit.
Serious bullshit.
Yeah. Let's see here. JCPenney and Chrysler decided not to buy time during the episode. Wendy's decided not to advertise on Ellen again at all.
Wow.
Lots of crusades against her. Anyway, all that.
Boo.
But it was obviously iconic and a great episode, by the way.
Yeah, I remember. I don't remember it very well, but I remember watching it at the time, and I remember hearing a lot about it afterwards.
Yeah, Oprah's in it. It's really nice.
So
Laura Dern also faced backlash against after it.
would you like to change your obsession?
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Also, my Twitter, because we were in the middle of homework. My Twitter is Anthropology, and I have another podcast called So Dreamy. I haven't. Rachel and I are recording this weekend. We haven't talked in like 3 weeks. I'm so excited. This week is the week that the Dream Tweets episode will come out. We recorded it so far in advance that I got confused, but I'm still excited about it. It's still great. Keep an ear out for that. And then Erin is next.
Hello. My name is Erin.
Welcome.
My obsession, I guess, is Christmas lights, kind of half-heartedly, so kind of added it. And apparently the puppy episode of the Ellen Show. Okay. It is a really good episode. I think you can watch it on YouTube.
Okay.
My Twitter's at Erin Byrne. I review lesbian movies at LesbianMovieReviews on Instagram. I just today completed my hashtag 30 days of songs.
Oh, yeah.
You can find all that on my website, ernburn.com. And you can go to ernben.com, www.ernben.com for everything you need.
Yeah. And anything you need. Excuse me. I was gonna ask you something, but I forgot.
This is a great pregnant pause. I'm not allowed to talk about an episode of a thing I like a little bit, but you're allowed to like just sit there in silence. I see how it goes.
And keep me from talking because I was sure you were going to say something.
I was
Ben.
going to ask Erin a question, but I forgot.
Oh.
So bad.
Was it about my hashtag 30 days of songs?
Maybe. But it's...
Was it about www.ernben.com?
No, I thought it was funny how you explained the whole war-torn thing, because it's true. We couldn't record because we had head colds. So we put out one where we had head colds previously.
Yep. We just are destined to always have head colds together.
Yep.
It's just what we do.
Mm-hmm. Now you may dip into homework, Ben.
Okay. Drink tea. It's good for you, and it's good tasting. Replace your coffee with tea. It's better.
Wait. No.
Yep.
Why would you say
That's
that?
it.
According to who?
That's my
tea.
homework.
According to who?
Why has this podcast become a war against tea
That's
or coffee?
my homework, and you guys.
Who said that? You're just saying words.
I didn't question your homework.
This is an outrage.
You're just saying words.
All right. And my Twitter is moving on. My Twitter is nicely proved Ben. Lots of pictures of Chromo, the cutest kitty ever on there.
Can't believe I've been betrayed like this.
Is that,
I take back all my support for your tea drawer.
Is that it? Is that all? That's all.
I'm canceling my mug order on Amazon for you. I was going to send you a case of mugs.
Not taking any of your mugs
Replace
home
your
with
tea with coffee. Thank you. Good night.
Wow.
If you want to call us.
I just said it backwards, didn't I?
Tell Ben.
That was a
yes.
Freudian slip, my friend.
No, replace your coffee
No,
with tea.
Replace your tea with
Thank
coffee.
you, good night.
Replace
Hannah edits this program.
You got a coffee drawer now, Ben. Fuck you.
Fuck you, Ben.
Call us and let us know which way we should replace the things with. 774-326-0420. Blaze it. You can follow the podcast at TooBroadPod, TOO Broadpod on Twitter. You can follow us on Instagram at WayTooBroad. We post video clips from the podcast with pictures behind them usually. I just figured how to put GIFs in there. That's cool. You can email us at waytoobroad@gmail.com. You can go to our website, Erin already said, waytoobroad.com for anything you want. www.erinben.com for anything you need. And please leave us a rating on iTunes and we'll send you a sticker. Or anywhere. Not just anywhere. iTunes, yeah.
Yeah, wherever.
Yeah. And then
next door.
That's
Fine.
it. Unless anybody has any more outrageous things to say.
Tea is better than coffee.
No!
Good night.
The podcast candle's extinguished. Coffee's better than tea. The podcast
Bye.
candle's
Tea's better than
Replace tea with
coffee.
coffee. Bye. Don't drink tea anymore.
Replace tea
Well,
with
love
coffee.
you. Tea sucks. Poo. Tea's poo. Bye. Tea's poop flakes.
Tea isn't even real. It's just poop flakes.